Hello, and welcome, family. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. I am your host, Mrs. B. How are y'all doing? I hope everything is going well for you. I pray that you are doing well and that blessings are pouring your way. So, y'all, guess what? Today we are celebrating 20 episodes of Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. Oh my God. Thank you so much to everyone who has continued to support me on this journey. I decided to take the plunge on creating my podcast channel last year. I believe my first episode was in October. And, I was very nervous about this because I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I just felt like nobody wants to hear what I have to say. But, one thing about it is you have to believe in yourself and you have to take chances and risk. And that's the only way that you'll be able to see what you can do. Like, you have to put yourself out there, you have to try. So, I am so proud to announce that every week for 20 weeks, I have been putting out my podcast, Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. I thank you to everyone who has been along this ride with me, for all of the people who have supported me. I really and truly thank you so much. To my guests that have been on the podcast with me, I thank you so much as well. We are going to have more guests to come. So I thank the future guests as well. But I just want to take the time to appreciate, just where I'm at right now. This is a big milestone and accomplishment for me because I have so many big ideas in my head, and not all the time do I just, execute them. I know I can be a little like I dream big, but I don't always follow through. Just to, put it out there and be honest about myself. So, this is one of my dreams that I am really following through with. And, I'm really proud of myself. So, I am going to pat myself on the back and say kudos to me for sticking this out. I always felt like I wanted my voice to be heard in the world, but I never really understood how I could make that happen. So the podcast space has opened up this opportunity for me to just be able to share my thoughts and opinions with the world, along with my amazing personality. I know y'all love. Anyway, but this is our 20th episode of Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. Thank you to my day ones, my riders, my people who share every post and tune in to every episode. You are greatly appreciated, and I will not forget you on my way to the top. All right. Okay. So I did want to talk about my week this week. So I have been struggling like for the past 10 years, I would say. Maybe even a little more than that. Really, since having my twins and staying home with them for 3 years and not really being active, it's really been a struggle for me to, just maintain my weight. I've really always been a little petite, skinny, little string bean thing. And I still had my curves, but I was super, super skinny. Now, no, I don't want to go back to that super skinny stage that I was in, but I definitely want to, get healthier because, life is a blessing, and I don't want to take it for granted by not taking care of this body that we are given, because we only receive one body. We're not going to get multiple bodies to screw up. Thank God that we don't have that opportunity, because some of us would just go crazy. But I'm just trying to be healthier and take better care of myself for my longevity of life here, because I am living to 100 years on earth. I'm going to see so many different things, and I want to be present for it. I don't want to be, stuck, um, held up in a room where I can't enjoy life. I want to enjoy every single 100 years of my life. So, in order to do that, I have to create better habits. I have to be more disciplined. And so, I am starting this journey. Actually, I started Sunday on March 8th with my newest, because I've started this weight loss journey so many times, y'all. It is just ridiculous. But I did a 3-day fast, and really the 3-day portion of the fast was just to get closer to God, build a better connection, learn how to pray more, learn how to focus my energy on what's more important. And I am a big snacker, but God really comes through when you need him, when he understands that you are here for a purpose. Because I usually have all these cravings all day and I want this and I want that. And I did so good the first day. Like, first day out, I was fine. I drank my coffee, I drank tea, and I drank water all day long. And when I tell you, I was just able to float through day one, no problem. Day two was a bit of a struggle because, I have a family and they're eating good. And I'm just having to stay strong while continuing on, this journey. So, day two was a little bit of a struggle, but I just kept, focused on my prayer and focused on thanking God for everything that He's given to me. And then day three was pretty much not, not bad at all. I mean, this is the first 3-day fast that I've completed so effortlessly. I feel like I don't know, I just really focused on prayer. And that was part of the lesson that we learned in church on Sunday was that anytime anything feels a little bit or slightly off in your life, whether it's a success, whether it's a doubt, whether it's frustration, any feeling that you're having that takes you out of your normal realm, is to just stop and pray in the moment. And that has really helped me so much, just to show my gratitude and thanks for everything. But your girl lost in 3 days I lost 8 pounds, so that was amazing. I am now on a 2-week liquid fast to just, continue to drop these pounds, because my goal was to lose 35 pounds this year. And I want to lose majority of it before my birthday. And my birthday is next month, April 20th. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to the Taurus gang, because I'm bringing us in April 20th. But yeah, so I want to bring in my 40th birthday healthy and, just living right. I'm going to start walking more. I've been telling myself all week to walk, and I have not started walking yet, but I need to. I did walk one day. I walked all the way down to the mailbox in our neighborhood. So I just need to be more conscious about getting my steps in every day and building myself back up to that 10,000 steps a day goal, because that really, really helped me. But yes, I am doing big things. I am working on me, because you should be working on you at all times. You should not be staying the same person that you were when you graduated high school. A lot of us, change once we graduate high school. Some people still have the same mindset from high school, but you should be forever growing and evolving and bettering yourself. And so that's what I'm working on. Um, Also, my son, excuse me, my son had his first baseball game yesterday. That was Wednesday night, and they won 8-5. I didn't get to stay for the whole game because of work, but I was able to get there and, at least watch him bat and watch some of the game. And it was an amazing game. I'm so proud of them for beating their one of our biggest rivals. They really did a very good job at the game, and I'm super proud of them. And then birthdays this week. So usually I shout out birthdays that are going to happen before the podcast, or that have happened before the podcast. But there is one birthday I want to go ahead and shout out, just because it's going to happen the day after. And I want to shout out my little cousin Adele. Happy birthday, little boo boo. This is her second birthday. She's such a sweet little baby. And just want to give her a shout out for her birthday. And then let me see who else. Oh, and my girl Serena, she is one of my old coworkers. I want to say shout out to her. Her birthday is coming, or her birthday already passed this past week. She was one of my very good coworker friend group people that I hang out with. So there's these three ladies that I love dearly that I used to work with at Homestar. It was a mortgage company, and we really just uplifted each other and always look out for each other. And I really, really appreciate having them in my life. We get together every once in a while to, have brunch and talk and catch up. But definitely needs to get together with them a whole lot more. But I just want to shout out to Serena for her birthday, and shout out to the other ladies. Thank you so much for just being a pivotal part of my life. Thank you for helping me grow into the woman that I am today. Thank you for the talks, the lessons, and everything. I really appreciate it. I also want to shout out one of my other friends that she's one of my parent friends. Like, you know how you get friends from parents because of your kids? So, my girl Nicole, she has been my A1 since day one. Like literally since I feel like either kindergarten or first grade, we have been so cool, and I really appreciate her. And I just want to, shout her out for always being a positive force in my life. Me and her, we spend a lot of time together with our daughters with cheerleading, especially definitely elementary school events, and then our daughters cheered together. And then both of our boys or our sons played football. My boys played football. Her son played football. And so we got to spend a lot of time with each other. And, now that we don't have activities going on, we still make time to, get together with each other. And we've been trying to make sure that once a month we meet up and just touch base and go out for drinks, because me and my girl love to have a good drink. But I just want to say that I appreciate the people in my life that, just help to keep me focused. Y'all have yet to meet my best friend, but she is like a major, major part of my life. I really appreciate her and our friendship. And I am so excited that we are going to eventually get her on the podcast. Me and her just have to coordinate. We are both busy moms. So we really just have to take the time to coordinate and get her on this podcast, because I really think y'all are going to enjoy hearing from her. All right. So, next topic we are going to talk about is we are going to dig into the news this week. So, one of the things that happened this week was there was a Southwest flight that had an issue where they had to call the authorities and all of that. They had a scare. Thankfully, everybody was okay. I'm so glad that there was not anything serious that happened to everyone. But Southwest flight, there was an issue this week due to a passenger who set a timer to pray during Ramadan. And because he set that timer, it sparked a set of events that cause all this security and stop the flight. And everybody was going on, trying to figure out what was going on, thinking that there was a threat on the flight, when in reality, it was only a timer that was set. But that, that little ticket sound, it will scare anybody nowadays. After 9/11, we all on alert. So glad that it was a false alarm and that everyone is okay. I know that was such a scary experience for everyone to go through. So, I really hate that happened, but I'm glad it was not anything serious. Then I wanted to talk about some of the news I heard about the Iran war. So the son of the Iran leader is very pissed off that his dad was killed in the war. And, basically, because of his father being killed, he is going to avenge his father's death. So there is no telling what we may face from the blowback of that. I just pray for everyone involved, and I hope there cannot be as many casualties as there are going to be. I know we've lost so far up to 7 U.S. troops to date, maybe even more, because I did hear that possibly all of the count was not being, shared. So I just pray for all of the families who loved ones are either going there or already there. I pray for the people who are stuck overseas, especially in Dubai, and they can't get back home. I pray for each and every one of you. I couldn't imagine, like, you think you're going on vacation and now you're stuck in the middle of a war. Like, honey, take me home. But one of the men from Iran was quoted saying that we are not the ones who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves. So when I heard that quote from him, that really just like struck a nerve in me, because it's like, that is true. And we're a casualty of that, because we are going to face whatever backlash comes from our American president, deciding to input himself on the war. And I will say I'm not as well versed on whether or not this is an appropriate war or not. because there's so many false facts going around. So I can say, oh yeah, it's needed because of this, and this, and then I can be like, oh well, it's not needed because of this, and this. But at the end of the day, we really have no idea what's really going on. But I do know with this president that we have that he does a lot of underhanded stuff that really doesn't suit anyone but himself or the people who have him in their pocket. So, I can only assume that this was an unnecessary war, but I cannot confirm nor deny that. So, I really can't have an opinion as far as that goes. I know one thing though, these gas prices is getting on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? We want them gas prices to go on back down. All right. All right. So moving on, we have celebrity news. So apparently Stefon Diggs is now jobless. So sorry to hear. Definitely a tragedy, but I kind of saw that coming. He has the case with his chef that he choked her, and it does make sense that his team will let him go. It's kind of screwed up a little bit in a way that they just only kept him until after the Super Bowl, which of course, you want to be able to go with your best player to the Super Bowl, one of your best players. But it's like, oh, we're going to keep you for the Super Bowl. But after that, we're just going to go ahead and let you go, honey, because you bring in too much negative heat. And I just have to wonder, like, would they have let him go had he helped them win the Super Bowl? Or was he only let go because he had a very crappy game? Like, I feel like the Super Bowl was Stefon Diggs' chance to prove that he is a necessity to the Patriots. And he didn't really live up to that expectation. So they like, all right, well, we don't need you. So we're going to go ahead and let you go. We're going to go ahead and end this contract and end your guaranteed funds that you were going to get. And, a lot of us was thinking like, ooh, Cardi really, secured the bag. She went from her broke rapper ex-husband, because Offset is said to have some financial issues. That's not me. That's just word on the street. But she went from a struggling rapper to this football player who has all this guaranteed money. He's making money. She's making money. They're such a powerful couple. And then now it's looking like, ugh, you know what I mean? Cardi gonna have to be, holding it down, which, we know she can. She's doing great. She's selling out every show on her Little Miss Drama tour. And shout out to Cardi for that. Very proud of her that her show or her tour is going well and that every show is a success. I can tell that she's really enjoying being on tour. So kudos to her. And speaking of her tour, honey, Nicki Minaj's little sister Ming attended Cardi B's tour and was seen at the after party. Now, what y'all think about that? Because, like, huh? Like, I can't believe, like, her sister would actually go to the concert and let it be known. Like, you can go to the concert, but I don't know if I would let it be like publicly known and be try to be seen and stuff. Just because I don't know, because they are sisters, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. Like, I know Nicki ain't never effed with her. And I don't know, I never heard any reports of her going to Nicki Minaj's concert, but that's really effed up if she went or not concert tour. It's messed up if she went on Nicki's she missed Nicki's tour and went on Cardi's tour. I'm not gonna lie, I would feel some type of way. But I do know they already have an estranged relationship and they're not the closest. But girl, keep your family close. Don't be letting your family go over there and hang out with the enemy. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, Nicki, if you would have embraced your little sister more, she would have been hopefully Team Nicki and not over here celebrating Cardi. Because Hennessy, no Hennessy. Hennessy would never, okay? Hennessy would never be seen at a Nicki Minaj concert. All right, because her and her sister are close. And just because they're not close in age, Nicki and Ming can still have an amazing relationship, and they should have an amazing relationship. And it's a little low-key embarrassing. Not saying that Ming can't be a Cardi fan, but don't be like out flashy. Like, have on some dark shades and a hoodie and don't let nobody know you there, girl. Okay? Like, keep it cute, but whatever. I blame Nicki. She's the older sister. And when I say this, whenever you're the oldest sibling, like I said last episode, you bear more responsibility. And I think Nicki is not the oldest. I believe her brother is the oldest sibling, but still, like, you're an adult and your sister is a young adult, and you should just be more of a, what am I trying to say? More of a, I don't know, like, just more over your sister, have a closer bond. You should be big sis. Like, come on, what the hell? Like, be big sis to your little sister and look out for her and make sure she's okay. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why Nicki just has such a problem getting along with people. Like, that's one of the things that really irritates me about her sometimes is that she just really does not know how to go along to get along. Like, you really got to make sure that you are showing love to everybody. Like, I don't understand why you would pick and choose, showing love to your family. No matter what stage they come into your life, no matter what parent they come from, because just because she isn't your mom's daughter, she's your dad's daughter, and you carry the same blood and DNA. She is your son's auntie, whether you like it or not, and you just got to do better, Nicki. Please, I know you're going through something right now on the butt shots affecting your brain cells and all of that, like Dion Cole said, but girl, pull it together. Embarrassing. Anyway, and then on to some more celebrity drama, honey. Amy Luciani and I think that's how you say her name, Amy Luciano. I don't know, but Amy and Dwight Howard. Ooh, child, the drama. So apparently there's this whole situation at their house, and Amy gets on social media to basically spread awareness and call her husband out for his apparent abuse and drug use, and stating that one of their children was taken away. And it's not her child, she doesn't have any children. So it's one of her step daughters that was taken away because of alleged abuse and drug use in the home. And then she gets on live with the drugs and showing them off. And then everybody trying to be funny, talking about she done sniffed the powder because she poured it in her hand and then started rubbing her nose while she was crying. It's just a whole mess. And then they are, of course, being going to get divorced. Now, Dwight Howard filed for divorce. Amy said he beat her to the punch because she was going to file for divorce, but he just got there quicker. Like, a whole mess. And like, one of the things that, is very sad is that this culture has this idea of, once you get married, you need to stick it out. You need to make it work no matter what. Like, even if you make a mistake and marry the wrong person, it's okay. God made a covenant between you and he wants y'all to keep it together. Now, I know we are supposed to, 100% take our vows seriously, but we can't be the only partner that takes our vows seriously. Both partners have to take your vows seriously. One can't be more serious than the other. And I know initially they both had filed for divorce from each other after being married, like either 6 months or under 6 months. And then next thing we know, she comes out and she's making this whole post about standing by your man, honoring your vows, learning how to be quiet and not, speak back so much, and, just learning how to take the back, seat in order to make your marriage work. And it sounded so great and wonderful because, of course, her advice was amazing. It was amazing advice. But one thing that she didn't say was that her husband had an issue. And apparently that issue that he had was the reason she wanted to run so fast. Now, yes, Amy, you should have done your research a little more before, marrying Dwight. You should have known what issues he had and what demons he had deep buried in that closet. And it sounded like it didn't take them long to come out once you got married and then you was ready to run. Whoever you let talk you into staying in this marriage is very sad. I hate that people do that. I hate that people will tell you to suffer through a situation and, deal with whatever you're dealing with just because you marry someone. We all make mistakes. And sometimes marriage is one of those mistakes. It doesn't mean that we have to, deal with that for the rest of our lives. Why would you want anybody that you love and care about to suffer in any kind of way? Like, why would you want that for them? Why would you not want them to get out of a situation that is not good for them and then just dust themselves off and, try to do better going forward? Like, I don't know, and sometimes I do understand that we don't always tell people everything that go on in our life and in our relationships. We're not always as honest. We keep things hidden, and that's a part of it. But if I say it ain't working, trust and believe it ain't working. Like, I don't like people always trying to talk you into staying in a bad situation. And I know that some people, are quick to flee, but sometimes it's okay to flee. Sometimes it's better. Like, why would you want to go through hell just to try to make something work instead of just seeing it out and being able to, get out of that? I do take marriage very seriously. I believe it should be death do you part, but I also know that people get married by mistake sometimes. Sometimes people do not pick the right partner. And there are some things that you can work through, and then there's some things that you can't work through. And drug use is one of those things. Like, a person who's addicted to drugs will drag you to hell and back. And that's a lot to have to deal with. And yes, there are people who have been strong enough to deal with it, but it takes a toll on you mentally and physically, and you're not able to be the person that you're meant to be because all of your energy is drained by this negativity in your home from this person who has an addiction problem. Like, y'all got to stop. Y'all just got to stop advising people to stay in negative and bad situations. If someone is in a situation and they don't want to be in it anymore, then help them get out of that situation. That's the best you can do. Not try to find ways for them to be in that situation. And I mean, there are some situations, yeah, of course, you can work through, you can go to counseling for, but there are some things that are just not worth the battle. And battling a man that is doing drugs and becomes violent and is not the person that you thought he was is not something that you have to bear and go through. If you feel like it's too much for you, if you feel like your safety is at risk, why would you stay there? Why would you let anybody talk you into staying? So that's just my 2 cents on that. Like, Amy, run for your life, girl, and don't look back. Like, stop letting these people try to tell you that you need to stick it through with this man. You can stick it through with a whole lot of other things, but that's something that I just don't agree that you should stick it through with. And everybody has their cutting off point. Like, let's normalize just being okay and knowing that what you're able to take in a relationship and what you're not able to take. Because a lot of times when we enter into marriages, we have this idea of the person who we are marrying. And sometimes they don't live up to that idea. And sometimes people have their representative out, and their representative is showing you who they are, and then when you finally get to know the real them, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been bamboozled. Like, why would you want to force somebody to stay in that situation just because they were tricked to be in that situation? Like, I don't think that is necessarily fair. And that's why a divorce exists. So, go ahead and get divorced, Amy and Dwight, and y'all just go about your separate ways. And I wish you both the best, but y'all don't need to be together. And next story, we want to talk about Britney Spears. Oh my goodness, this girl is just such a mess. I used to be a really big Britney Spears fan, and that's why I want to talk about her because, like, when I was growing up, Britney was that girl. I really, really enjoyed her music. I had her CD. I would listen to it. Her and Christina Aguilera. Really, really loved them down. And just to see everything that Brittany has gone through in life has been so sad and tragic. My heart really goes out to her because, again, being addicted really destroys your life. And it's really hard on the people around you to try to help you when you don't want to help yourself. That's the biggest thing. So, Britney Spears recently was arrested on a DUI charge, and they are looking at possibly placing her back into another guardianship. I just want to say prayers for Britney. I don't know what you did in this past life to cause so much trauma on yourself. Like, what happened that caused you to lose sight of yourself. But I just pray that you're able to pull it together, especially for your kids' sake, because they deserve a whole and happy mom. And I'm really sad about, just the fact that she has kids and she's not able to pull herself together. And, that really, really sucks. So, Brittany, I hope you stop dancing online and really seek some help, get some, counseling, and see a therapist, and really do some soul searching, get you a life coach that's going to help you stay on track with your goals and, get back to being yourself, because the downfall is terrible. And then one of the saddest things that I'm going to have to speak on is that Rihanna's home was shot up in a drive-by. This crazy lady, and when I say crazy, she really is. She has schizophrenia. She really is, not all there in the brain, but she makes these long rants online about celebrities and talking about how, they this and they that and they think they're better than her and she's prettier than them and this and that. I mean, I don't know. This lady is really off her rocker. And I just need to say, people need to start paying attention to these people. If you follow someone that's going off the deep end about a celebrity, you need to call somebody, alert somebody, ring the alarm, because why do you online talking crazy like this? Like, you don't think that something is wrong with them, that they online talking about a celebrity that they don't know and they never met and they just fixated with them? Like, y'all got to start, telling on your people. I'm sorry. Be a snitch, because this is a sad situation. She fired 10 shots during this drive by, and it hit Rihanna's home. I think 10 shots hit her home or her trailer on her property. Her and ASAP were there. Her mom was there. I think some of her staff members were there. I don't know if the kids were there, but I assume so. But like, that is so sad. Like, Rihanna is such a saint. She don't bother nobody. She's very friendly and welcoming to all of her fans. And the fact to think that she has to leave and go back to her home country, because I think that's where she went. She ended up going to Barbados. It's very sad. Like, leave people the freak alone. Like, and get your family members help. We know when people are not taking their meds. We know when they, need help for whatever they're going through. So get your family members the help that they need so that they can be better. And not out here, unaliving or trying to unalive people or wreaking havoc and things like that. Like, definitely, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to social media feeds, and alert the authorities anytime you think someone is off, because that's how we have these school shooters and these people who shoot up other places, like, because no one is paying attention to the signs that these people are displaying. So we got to be a little more vigilant, please, people, please. I beg of you. Anyway, so that is all of the celebrity gossip that I have for today. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the discussion question of the day. This discussion question came from the Breakfast Club. And I just want to know, like, how were you raised? Like, were you raised as a person who is supposed to look for people to take care of them, or were you raised to be independent? And this question was mostly placed towards women on a Breakfast Club, because one of the hosts, Lauren LaRosa, she was saying that her mom told her to always have a partner who's going to be a provider for her, someone that is, going to make sure that they can take care of her and her needs, and that she doesn't have to want for nothing. And that her mom was like, when she was dating her little broke college boyfriend, and saying like, well, don't call me and ask me for nothing when y'all sitting around being broke, because y'all gonna be broke together until y'all both figure it out. So, like, what kind of mindset were you raised with? Are you raising your daughters to depend on a man, or are you raising them to have their own? DJ Envy and Charlemagne were basically saying that they raise their daughters to have their own money, and that whatever their partner has is going to be, a plus, and that their partner should match their hustle, not, come and live off of them and not mooch off of them. And I will say, I agree with that. I agree your partner should match your hustle. I don't think either person should live off of the other. Now, if you do have a man that, is just like, hey, I want to pay all the bills, I want to take care of everything. Hey, that's fine and dandy. But I still don't think you should sit around and not have your own. I always get so mad at these women who have these rich spouses and they just sit around and live off of their money. They don't even take any of their assets or things that they have, around them, and try to take and make something of their own. You don't have to be gone all day to create a business where you can get some kind of stream of income. You should be doing continuing education, getting degrees. You should be doing something to better yourself, not just sitting around shopping all day and collecting this man's money. Like I 100% do not agree with that. Um, I definitely stand firm on being independent, but I will say I was always told, as a child, I was raised by my mom, especially, that your man should be able to take care of you no matter what. You shouldn't be taking care of him. Don't ever take care of a man. Basically, don't ever do nothing for no man. She was really extreme with it. And my mom was always like, my man, give me the whole check. I get the whole check. I get the whole check. Now, I ain't never been able to get nobody's whole check, but I have been able to live comfortably, but I've also had to be a partner and help. I always, I don't ever look for someone to fully take care of me. I always look for someone to be a partner, basically someone to match my hustle, and we build and grow together. Now, no, I'm not always the best picker when it comes to that, because like I said, my picker broken. But that's what I've always just felt deep down in my soul, is that it should be a partnership. Of course, who doesn't want a man that can take care of everything, but that doesn't mean that he has to take care of everything. So I think it's a difference. But also, I was also raised that if you have a man, you shouldn't ask anybody else to help you out financially. Like, if you're in a relationship, don't ask anybody for money, because you and your man should be able to figure that out together. Like, what are y'all doing over there? And basically, when you start giving your body to a man, they should basically be able to take care of you, because if not, then why are you giving your body to them? So, that was some of the things that I was taught growing up. And, it has weighed heavily on me over the years, because anytime I have needed anything, it's like I hesitate to even ask my family, because it's like, I got a man, I can't ask for help. And that's kind of sad, because, there are times where we are going to need help here and there. So, yeah, I definitely feel like no matter what, we should be able to ask for help, whether or not we are in a relationship. Now, no, you shouldn't need help all the time. No, you shouldn't always be looking for other people to help you, especially when you have a partner, because what's the point of having a partner if y'all can't rely on each other to pick each other up when you're down? And you shouldn't have to always go to outside people. One of you should be able to figure it out. Um, so I do agree with that, but it doesn't always work out that way. So, family is there to help you, and I don't think anybody should not be receiving help just because they're in a relationship. Because listen, who knows when the tables may turn one day. We all may need, a little help here and there. But definitely, I don't think one partner should be taking care of the other fully, and then the other one having to reach out to people for help because they got a partner that ain't willing to step up to the plate and do more than what they're doing. So, that part. But last thing, I just want to, kind of end this note on, because this was kind of drawing back to the Amy and Dwight Howard situation. If there are things that happened in your relationship that you're too embarrassed to share with anybody else, then sadly that means you're in a bad relationship. Like, if something happened in your relationship and you would not tell a soul, like not even your bestest friend, that's not a healthy or a good relationship. Because if you're that embarrassed by it, that means that it's wrong and that it shouldn't be happening. And you're allowing yourself to be in a situation that's not conductive for you in your life. It really does mean that you need to flee. I don't care if you're married or not. If somebody is taking you through something so embarrassing that you're not able to share with the world because of your fear of how others will take it, then I think that's a sign for you that it's time to go. All right, that's just my little two pieces on that. But yeah, I would love to, get some feedback from you all, and, just kind of tell me what your thoughts are about dating. Like, what how does how you were brought up affect your dating life, and how do you carry that on into everyday situations? Like, definitely stop by the Chatting It Up with Mrs. B podcast Instagram page and leave your thoughts and comments on this topic today about basically were you raised to be independent or dependent on a man? Like, and I would love to hear from these old school people, some young people because they do have some insight too, but mostly old school because I know like back in my day, like we were taught differently as far as relationship goes. But anyway, I do want to thank you so much for tuning in to Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. This is our 20th episode, y'all. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm wishing you a wonderful and blessed day. And remember, be smart, be kind, be beautiful, be blessed. Bye.